What used to happen prior is that if you're having a problem in Port Antonio, you have to call somewhere over in St. Anne to get a fix for the problem. And so we believe that we're at a stage in our maturity that everything, we don't have to call Bishop Farr at midnight if there's a little quarrel between two persons at Lyndhurst Road. We feel that we are at a point where we can put ourselves together so that our dispute resolution mechanism can be more than just finding the presiding bishop wherever he is, because he needs some downtime too. So we are calling at this time Dean of Discipline at I was trying to find the Sherry Charlton. Right. So what we're blessed with in Shiloh is a number of deans of discipline. And my understanding is deans of discipline are equivalent to vice principal. That's right? It means that they get a whole lot of pay. So you can have that discussion with Sister Sherry after. But Minister Sinclair, who is a justice of the peace, is also a dean of discipline. Sister Sherry Charlton is also a dean of discipline. And you don't have to ask about JPs because they fill up the program. And at this time, Sister Sherry will share with us about dispute resolution, the role that deans of discipline and justices of the peace can play. Put your hands together for her 10 minutes that she'll be presenting with us.
Shall we praise Jesus, everyone? Shall we praise Jesus? Praise Jesus. Greetings to our presiding bishop, other bishops, ministers, saints of God. I greet you in the mighty name of Jesus. And I am going to stick to my 10 minutes and less. The task is mine this afternoon to introduce an upcoming program for the Shiloh Apostolic Organization. It has long been a dream of mine to recognize the talent that we have right here in Shiloh. Other organizations have a day celebrating persons within their organization who have businesses or offer certain services, and they promote persons going inside their organization. And I know that Shiloh is just as talented, and we need to take a page sometimes from others. Now, the dispute resolution framework, as Pastor Bowes had hinted at, comes from a lot of what is happening in our society today. And I know that nobody has been left in a room locked away, nobody is under a rock stone, but you recognize that there are certain things happening in our beautiful country that we need to take stock of. In August 2021, our Prime Minister, the Honorable Andrew Holness, mentioned that a part of the challenge that we face as Jamaican families is the increasing violence in the society. Data from the Ministry of National Security showed that in 2021, violent crimes, especially murders, increased by 10%. And we know the most volatile parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew, Hanover, St. James, right, and Westmoreland. The Justice Minister last year would have visited my school on a tour that speaks to conflict resolution in schools and training persons. And so it begins a thrust from the government perspective of equipping persons with the knowledge of how to handle disputes. And in May of last year, he stressed that the country's crime and homicide issues can't be resolved or reduced significantly unless as citizens we find lawful, legitimate, and appropriate means to diffuse any disagreements and conflicts. And if we go according to our police commissioner at that time, or still is, I think, my memory served me wrong, in 2022, 15% of murders in 2022 stemmed from just interpersonal disputes. Not any lottery scamming, not confined, interpersonal disputes that would have led to all of 15% of murders last year. And so this brings me to what is dispute resolution and how it is that as deans of discipline and justices of the peace, we will be able to serve our organization. Dispute resolution is a process of resolving disputes without the need for any court litigation. So we're not going inside a courthouse. The country, as I mentioned before, is shifting because there is quite a backlog, and my justices can tell me that there is quite a backlog of cases currently before the courts. So if we can take some of that pressure off, and persons will find that their issues are dealt with in a more timely manner, we will find that things will be resolved. I go to the Bible. 1 Corinthians 6 says, "Dare any of you having a matter against another go to law before the unjust and not before the saints?" So, I think we know this one. If there is a matter that should be dealt with, both of you in church, why not take it to persons of the same faith who want you both to be better? We don't want when you go to the court, as we know, one person is going to leave angry, one person feels unsatisfied, one person may feel that they were unjustly treated. But through mediation, it could be a win-win situation. With trials, one side gets relief, one side goes home unhappy, there is no justice. But with mediation, both parties control the process. They decide what to give, what they want to take out, and there is a neutral third party who is guiding you along this process. As far as I know, and maybe Minister Sinclair can assist me, there are only 3 deans of discipline in Shiloh, right? Minister Sinclair, myself, and Minister Johnson from Coffee Ridge, right? Those are the 3. But we know that there are a number of justices of the peace. I see them on the program, but how many of us know where to find them and how to get in touch with them? And so today, if you're a justice of the peace, I have a registration form because we want Shiloh to know how to get to your products and your services. I think the executive, can I make a suggestion? Make a suggestion? No, man, not just for this, but overall, we need to have a box of talent for Shiloh. Who sells hat, who gives construction, who do electrical, and it is put out for anybody in Shiloh to get that. That's one thing that I'd want us to look into. So as I finish, the vision of the organization through this framework is to have a structured response to the organization's response to any issues that's faced by its members. So across the island, across the seas, we want to reach our members when they're facing challenges and to guide them appropriately without going into a court of law where they may have to spend a lot of money. But if needed, through the arbitration or the mediation process, we can involve legal experts as well. We know that as deans of discipline and as justice of the peace, we receive this training. And so if we are to be good stewards and taking into consideration and managing the responsibility that we have been given, we are hoping that we can now give our service, offer ourselves and our services to the organization, ensuring that we are better people and who can become better saints, that when we come to church, we are not bogged down with issues, but we can relax, praise, and worship freely. So you will hear in the near future as we continue to work our framework out and have a good standing going forward, and we formalize our approach. Thank you very much.
That was the Sister Nicole Charlton, Cherie Nicole Charlton, from the No, not from the Hampton High School. The Hampton School. Okay, so take the high out. All right, we Tonys get it wrong so often. Please put your hands together for her one more time. And just to put in a little plug for her when it comes to doing, what is it, decor and wedding arrangements and that sort of thing, you can always contact her. And she has suggested that a framework be put in place so that our organization can benefit from the talent, the training. 'Cause you would have gotten the training already and the know-how, so we don't have to go either import or beg or pay super expensive for these talents. Persons are trained already in dispensing justice and also in conflict resolution, especially because our population is of a younger age. So what you're trained to do in the school system can be applied in our organization. We are getting to the penultimate presentation, and Pastor Chana will be coming back to us to briefly remind us why we're needing to make a contribution to the advancement of the physical structure of Shiloh, where they are now and what is needed to go forward. Please put your hands together to receive Pastor Chana, who will did as he did prior, not exceeding his 10 minutes. Wonderful job was done, and he will do it again. Do you believe that? Put your hands together for my friend, Pastor Chana, in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Praise Jesus again. Oh, that was praise Jesus again. All right, lunch was good. Lunch was good. I think it was. I got a piece of chicken a while ago, and it was. I got both, but the chicken, the chicken was super. It was soft, and well done. All right, so I enjoy that. It's not very often that I get to eat when I come to these functions, because by the time you get to the kitchen, it's finished. But this time around, I think everybody who wanted lunch got lunch. Huh? Don't go on so quiet on me. All right. And there is a lot of soup, so you can still go and have a extra cup. All right, so we're supposed to be talking about the convention center redevelopment, and I just want to remind you that we have a development team headed by 3 persons from the executive committee, myself, Elder Charlton, and Pastor Charlton and Pastor Simpson. And then we have put together a Hanbury redevelopment team of a number of other persons. I think some of them are here, but we want to, if they're inside here, to recognize those other persons who have been giving service to the whole development. And as I said last time, we're still looking for some additional persons who are willing to serve on the redevelopment team with their ideas and their plans and sometimes their skills. We want people to come in. And it's not just men we are looking for females also. Yeah, the doors. Right. We want people with knowledge in finance who can tell us how to spend the money wisely and how to get additional funds to cause our organization and the convention center to grow. So if you have those skills, you can talk to any one of us. We would like to, I don't know if they're here, Brother Hurd and Brother Brooks and Brother Mattis, if they're here. Sister Henry's here. Where's Sister Henry? Oh, Deacon Henry is here, right. And Sister Melissa Brooks. Right, if those persons are here. All right, I think I passed some of them going out to have lunch. But those persons are on the redevelopment committee, and they are giving us their skills and their service, right, which we are very, very appreciative of. All right, so everybody knows what existed at the convention center before COVID. And as you come here today, you would have seen some adjustments being made. We want to communicate to you what we're doing so that you can buy into what we have here. Because this building is a very large building. I understand the whole floor space for this building. And as you know, there are three sections. One over here, this one in the middle here, and another section over there, which is yet to be erected. And the total floor space, I understand, is 4,046 square meters, which is the same as about 1 acre of land. It's a lot of space. A lot of space. I don't know, we'd have to try hard to get this place full with persons within our organization. If we use it for other purposes, then maybe we'll get it filled. Because when this building is erected, it can serve as a multi-purpose building, and we could get a lot of funds if we sublet it to other persons of the Christian faith. And even from the Ministry of Education and organizations like that are not going to abuse our sacred ground, we could get revenue from it. So when we came here, this is before COVID. This is what we saw. If you look over there, that was the bathroom. We have removed the sheetings and the covering from it because we are taking stuff from there to use on this building behind us. That bathroom down there will be completely dismantled, and the whole section underneath from about the floor level here going across will be decked, as they call it. We have a concrete roof across, and beneath that it is tall enough. Though you're looking over there and you might see that it's not as deep. Yes, it is deep enough. And so underneath there, we plan to have the cafeteria, the kitchen, cafeteria, additional bathrooms, and at the front there, something like a mini mart or a small haberdashery area. So when you come to convention, you can buy anything that you want, from clothes to shoes to cosmetics to whatever. You will get it down there. All right? So that section will be completely decked. And it might not be done for this convention, but that is on the plan. So what we are doing right now is to try to accommodate you for convention. And one of the dorms that you see down there is taken down because of the 3 dorms. It might have been one of the better ones, but where it is located, we decided that we'll take it out of that sink because we think that it might be a little damp down there, and we needed the material on it to work up here. Quite a lot of materials that was on that dome is being used up here to put in the form for the decking. And so we would have saved thousands of dollars for the plyboard and the 2x4 and the lot and everything to put up the form for that decking. So we have taken down almost everything. The zinc sheets are stored away, and so that dome is almost fully dismantled. And up here, based on the plan, and Minister Brooks is here, he can explain. Based on the plan that we have, this building on the top there should have been the section for the conference room for the organization. Long room from here back there. But we have decided that we are going to put a roof on it, and we are going to convert it for the time being into a dormitory. So we have added some. There are some bathrooms here, about 2 bathrooms and shower area, and to that side we have added a number of shower areas and toilets with wash basin. So when that is put on, you'll have a complete dorm up there. We will put beds in and whatever. So the plan is that we want to get it ready for convention. So as we speak, there are discussions to have concrete poured before the end of the week or the latest Monday. And when that concrete is done, poured, and you have a decking on it, then the workmen would be engaged to do the rough cast and the rendering even before the form is taken down, right? And so that is where we want all of the help now, because once that is done, we will have to get it prepared in what, less than 6 weeks for convention. And so we would have to rush against time. And that's where we want all the contributions from our dedicated and faithful and kind Shilohites all over. All right? So we'll be putting in windows and doors, and we're going to be checking up the number of windows and the number of doors, and we'll put them in one by one. So sister over there is smiling with me. We'll call her up and say, okay, give us a window. She stopped smiling as I said that. I'm not going to do that. All right, you're in the blue and the red hat, I'm talking. All right, okay. So if you can give a, if you can give a window, if you can give a window, if you can give a door, we'll be calling upon you. We have, how many tiles, Brother Hurd? About 7? 9. 9 tiles. So what we'll do, we'll go into one of the hardware store and we can find a commercial toilet for each of them and at the best price. And we tell you that we need 9 toilets, and then you can just either send in the money for the toilet, or you go and identify the exact similar type and you buy it and come and put down inside there. And we need basins the same way, so you can't afford a toilet but you can afford a basin. And then when we get down to the floor now, we need tiles. And let us say a tile costs $1,000 and we want 200 to tile the floor. You can contribute. So if you can't do big, you can do small, and it's appreciated. And surprisingly, while I was here, during the course of the week, somebody called me and asked me if we need a basin for a face basin for the convention center, and I said yes. And just a while ago, the person came, brand new basin, and it's inside there. But guess where it is going to be put? That room that we have out there is the nurses station and the sick bay. Nurses station and the sick bay, and that will be ready for convention coming. We need one toilet for it, and we have already gotten the basin that the nurses station need. During the course of this week, the week past, somebody called from overseas, one of our pastors overseas, and he was contacted by another of our church members who came down during last week. She's coming from overseas. She came and looked at the convention center and said, love what is going on, and she gave us some good suggestions that we have taken. But she made a connection to one of the pastors overseas, and he has called back and said right away he's going to give us, I think it's 2 hospital beds that we're going to need for the sick bay. So we have to make arrangement now for it to be to ship down to Jamaica. So already we have the place being furnished, and it's not quite completed yet. We need partitions and so on, and desks and chairs for the nurses, and the 2 other beds for the persons. If you are feeling tired or whatever, not well, you can go inside there and take a couple minutes, and get some rest. And the same person overseas communicated to us a while ago that not only will she be, she has done the connection, but she also going to be giving 1,000 building blocks. And the donations are coming in. While I was here, somebody brought a check to me, Bishop, for $180,000, and that is for 150 building blocks. We had measured this side here, and we have decided, along with some further discussion, that we are going to block in that side up to a certain extent, and it would cost about 3,000 blocks, and so far we have a donation for 2,500 blocks to close in that side. All right, so up there is going on. The construction is going on, as I said before, by the end of the week or further down. Monday, maybe the latest, is going to have a decking. All right, so if you notice, we have to be shifting today, and we don't want that to happen to us, because I feel embarrassed easily having to lift chairs to move them out of the sun, and if rain was falling, it would have been worse. And I had in my mind previous convention that I'm not going to come here and sit down and have to take up bench to run over one corner. And I don't think we should subject anybody to that we have to be lifting up bench to run over one corner, shifting rain and everything. So the commitment I make with myself, that anything that I can do to uplift this convention center and get it to a point that we feel comfortable and feel like somebody picked me, like other persons, then we are going to do it, all right? So if you notice here, it still has a big open space, and the contractor and the design and everything suggests that between that column and that column, we go one more floor up to get some additional dormitory space, and then the little section that is left in the apex come down. We're going to put some zinc sheets there for the time being to close it out. So behind us will be closed out. All right, so I am running out of time, so let me tell you about this part now for convention. As you know, we have to close in this point, this section for convention. So we have gotten estimates, Ella Charlton, gentlemen, we have gotten estimate as to how we can close this section from there to that point at that column down there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, is it 4 or 5? 5 spans? 5 spans, right. So to where you sit, that young man over there sitting, so you see him relax? And the place don't close in it, and you see how he relax. So if it was closing, I don't know how it maybe without here he would be lying down, but enjoy yourself, sir. Good, good. So right before that column, he's right before that column, we're going to close in from here down to that column for the time being, right? So we have ordered, I've gotten the estimate, got in a welder, and instead of using tank weld in Kingston, we have ordered some material from Arc Systems in Kingston, some 30-foot zinc that is going to come from up there to a little less than little more than halfway, because those beams that you see there are going to be put up during the course of this week, and the zinc is going to come from up there down to the beam. Down below there, we're going to use blocks to block in that side, because we have the feeling that this section and that section of the building, plus the balcony inside here, would be sufficient for now to house any convention, any function. And so we have said to ourselves that instead of going over with the third section of the sanctuary, we would put a big passage between there, go out, and then do something else with that side over there. So we are going to close in this with blocks, the bottom section with blocks and doors, so that we will completely block out the wind and the rain and the sun. And so before the week is out, we have paid maybe near $2.5 million for that material, and it's coming from Kingston. They called yesterday and said the material is ready. 2.8 something million for that material. If you look on those zinc coming down, one sheet of that zinc is over 20 plus thousand. One sheet of zinc, you know. Right. And we're getting zinc from, I'm not telling you the amount because I don't have it right here. The number of sheets of zinc that we are getting. All right. So that is coming. They called and said the material is ready. All that they need now is to organize the transportation in terms of scheduling us, because the transportation has to come out from the factory, but they have a lineup, and so maybe before the week is out, that material should come down. So we are on our way in terms of closing in this side for the coming convention. All right. So if you notice the dorms now, that dorm down there as we speak, that dorm is being repaired. So if you go inside, and maybe before you leave, and we can open the door, we have the cellotex on the ceiling, all of them were pulled down, taken down, and we are now replacing, we are resealing that dorm. And as soon as we are finished with resealing that dorm, we are going to go over to that one, and we're going to refurbish that one. If you go in there during COVID, the Duckans and Chichi, what they call them, right, they had eaten out all of the ceiling. And so we are doing some repairs to those 2 dorms. They are going to be refurbished. So come convention, they will be up and running. It's not just the ceiling, but other things have to be done. The toilets and the face basins, everything will have to be removed and refurbished, so that when you come, you'll have somewhere that is comfortable. If you look outside this dorm, there are bunk beds that are there, but the mattresses are all destroyed. Because we couldn't do anything during COVID. There was lockdown. We couldn't even come down here, come look, because we had to get, whatever to travel, authorization to travel on the road. So those bunk beds are coming from that dorm. Some are in that, some are in that. And what we are trying to do now is to get some of them repaired, because we noticed that they didn't have sides. If you sleep on the top bunk, you maybe, if you're some people like, the people who go do kung fu when they sleep in the night time, you might find yourself on that one. Oh, you. All right. Yes. Yes. Some of us fight in the night, and kick and fight and all kind of things. So we need to get some sidings for the metal. And Bishop, the person that Bishop is, he's always talking about peril insurance and so on. We have to make the place as safe as possible. So he wouldn't be satisfied if we put those beds inside the dorms and we don't have a rail inside to prevent you from falling off the top. So we have to do some adjustments to them. So they're out there now, and we're trying to get them repaired for convention. We also are trying to get some mattresses. So far, we have somebody overseas waiting in the wings. We are investigating the best price for the mattresses, and she's willing to either give us 10 bunk beds or mattresses to put on the bunk bed. Now that is in the wings. You're not giving her a big hand. Some of these person, we don't call the names, because they don't want to be called. So we have been talking, we have been discussing with the technical team that is down here in terms of the kitchen and the cafeteria, because the kitchen and the cafeteria has to be up for convention. There can't be a convention without a proper kitchen and cafeteria. Would you agree with me? Because we love the food, right? Because when we come here and shout and rejoice and praise God, we want to go back and replenish, okay? So we want good food. So we have to deal with that. And so we have to do some refurbishing. The kitchen that we have out there will be refurbished for the upcoming convention. We're planning not to spend plenty of money on the buildings that are going to be temporary, but with the expertise that we have, and we have some materials on site, we can refurbish the kitchen out there so it can be up and running for a convention. We have a water issue on this compound, and we have been wasting a whole lot of water because of the piping system. And so the other day we have abandoned all of the piping that goes underground because we can't find some of them, and every time we put water in the tank, it goes out. And one load of water is for $27,000. So we are trying to sort out our water problem. We have bought some pipe, and we have run them along the building here so that we don't have any connection, or we have just a few connections so we won't have any leaks. But unfortunately, I'm going to let you know that when we bought the pipe, it seemed as if they had some factory faults. And right now, the technical person at Isratech down the bottom there, our neighbor, they are working out as to what caused the pipes to be, the fittings on the pipe to be behaving the way they're behaving, that they are causing leaks. And we are working on that. But so far, the pipe is partly a run from the tank coming down to save on our water bill. But in the short term, we're also thinking about catching water from this roof, because if you are down here when rain is falling and you see the amount of water that come off these two sections, in a quick stick they could fill maybe a 5,000 a reservoir, a $6,000, $10,000 gallon, catchment. So we are working on that and see if we can get an estimate as to how we can put in the tanks. We don't have to put in the tanks or build a reservoir one time. It can be built in section, but we are going to do rainwater harvesting so that in a couple of years when you come down here, we won't have a water problem, and we won't have to rely any at all on water commission, because the amount of water that we have, we can run maybe convention for 2 weeks if we were keeping convention for 2 weeks. All right. Also, there are plans for the convention center to get energy from solar generated power, and that is quite easy to do, and we can put in our solar panels, just a piece at a time. We don't have to buy the whole thing. So when people are donating, they can say, oh, I have a 10 by 10, if they make them that size, solar panel, and we can put it up there and we start generating, and we can always add to it so we have the place completed with solar power. All right. As you all know, this is the final part almost. The land utilization and the landscaping has to be done, and we have somebody working on that in terms of how we utilize the space. where is the parking going to be, where is the garden is going to be, and the tree is going to be, and the, what we'll have, where our buildings, additional buildings will go, and so on. And that will be done. And when we get that done, we're going to be maybe putting it up in on some type of media that you can read it and understand. And so we're asking you to support the venture. Come next week as soon as the concrete is poured up there, and we are going to be thinking about fittings. We're going to be thinking about doors, windows, toilets, face basin, and tiles. All right. Okay. So and everybody can can donate something. You see, if we start to bring in this stuff, we'll have to do like what prophet was it again when he was building Moses, when he was collecting to build the temple, huh? The tabernacle, right? He had to turn back people because there was an overflow. They were taking in too many things, and that's what we see. And by the way, I see Sister Anglin over there. People are calling us, People are calling us and talking to us. I'm giving away, man, because I want to use you to motivate somebody. And she pick up the phone and she call, and when we talk, it's really encouraging that people are thinking about the convention center. And I've been getting calls from other persons. In fact, somebody that called said, but I look over there and we don't need that space, Elder. We don't need that space, we can use that space for something, because these two sections big enough to make the for the sanctuary. Because look down there, when you down the bottom down there and I'm standing here, unless you know me before, you won't even be able to see my face clearly. And so persons are calling and giving suggestions. And during the week that the men are here, we'd ask you ministers, people have been doing that, and it's so encouraging for you to just drive through, right? Right, Elder Garden drive through, and Elder Garden push him hand in pocket and take out money and say, Elder make on the road, but here is money to pay for workmen for whatever day. Praise God. Last week I was here, and somebody over there, we're not telling her who, yeah, he called and say, I am down this side, sir, who is in charge? And I say, Brother Hurd is in charge. Him say, I'm going to buy the men them lunch. Because you're here, you're encouraging them. And so Ella Andrews, he's down here regularly. He drive through and look what is going on. But Bishop Andrews, when the men up there working, so we're going to ask you one of these days when you come down there to call them down. Hear what I'm suggesting to them. He's going to come down here and say, come men, we're going to have a few minutes for prayer and communion. You hear that part? He's going to call them down and say, I'm going to take a prayer break and serve a little communion, sir. Yes, serve a little communion, a little Timothy wine. Yes. Yeah, man. Call them down as... Yes, serve them a little Timothy wine, sir. Because you see, sometimes I'm on the construction side, they not work unless them bless. You have to bless them and serve them communion, all right, Bishop? All right, but people have been making contributions. Elder Walker from Gravy Hill has promised us some lighting, the fixtures and so on, and we are waiting for all of those things to come. So we're going to open... Bishop is not using his office right now. Bishop Farr not using his office right now. So we're going to open his office down there for small items, like the face basins and the, for storage, temporary storage. Huh? Yeah, man, and if you have pledges right now, we will set up a desk. I think the treasurer is in the office and she can take pledges. If you have pledges right now, we'll ask you to give, because we really need the money. We have spent over maybe upward or near to $8 million over the past couple of weeks since the last function, a little over. And see, when you come, you're looking up there, you're seeing the work, and we want that dorm to be finished for convention. We don't know if it's going to be a male or a female dorm, but all right, whichever group of you. Whichever group whichever group behaves themselves the best will go up there. So, so we'll make one of those the naughty corner for you if you don't behave yourself. All right, so we need the support. Call us in. You can call any member of the team, and we want to make mention of Brother Hurd. Could you stand over there, Brother Hurd? I really want right. He deserves it, and he's one of the persons on the team that is given the supervision. Voluntarily, right, and he's spending a lot of time, and most of the time you come, you can find him. Brother Brooks over there, he's the plan man again, So, Brother Brooks, technical support. Yeah, man. All right, so these men are committed to the task, and we can call on them anytime. If you drive down here, chances are you'll see Minister Hurd, and I advise you or encourage you to drive by some of the times. Just pop in, have a word with him, encourage him, because encouragement sweetens labor. And if you come, as I said before, and the men are here, you can buy a crate of water on the road and just call them and say, here's a crate of water. You just put it down. You're not going to take them off the job, You can put it here, and you tell them that water is down there, and they can refresh themselves. All right. Thank you very much. If there are questions, we take the questions. And remember, the treasurer is in the office. If you have donations to make, you can go there and make your donations to her. God bless you.
Tell the truth. Don't Pastor Chana make Shiloh sound nice again. Eh? Like we're just full of hope, and like, you have a plan, and you see the plan unfolding, and you're hearing things that you can translate, and things that will make a different Shiloh sound nice again. Dust off your black and white and your jippy japper hat and your dust off your what? Your white dress and your jippy japper hat and so on, because put your hands together for Pastor Chana. That was real good, useful, functional information. There were times when it's only one person you can get certain information from, but part of what the leadership allows now is that the team is able to get involved in what is happening. Bless the name of the Lord Jesus.